Good morning, everybody. You're looking at a door that leads outside of the meditation studio, and this is a episode coming from the meditation room on the piece of land that I live in Austin, Texas. A couple of the questions that have come up. One was, what do I do for my meditation practice? Well, there's several things that I do, and in this room is where, usually on that corner right there, is where I'll meditate, and I'll just give you another view of the room. This is called the Dan Jones Healing Space, and you're welcome to look up Dan Jones on the web. He's a pioneer in the men's emotional release, men's work movement. Look up Dan Jones, and we named this space after him. So I'm usually over in that corner. I do guided meditation with a gentleman that lives here on the property. Not that often. I would say I really want to do it more, but probably about once a month. And the other times I come in here, I do a little EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique, and I'm going to put the camera on the tripod. And another thing that I actually consider as meditative work is practicing my instrument, and real practicing. Okay, so I'm back. So I actually consider very focused musical practice to be a meditative practice, for those of you wondering. So, and usually I get about 2 or 3 sessions of practicing in per week. So I hope that answers your question. And then also, I had some feedback from a friend of mine. I want to read you a letter from doing these episodes and presenting them as a way for you to see into the life of what it's like to be a musician here in Austin, Texas. A friend of mine that I play with wrote this to me when he saw one of these episodes. He says, "Well, Will, there was some cool footage in there, especially the time-lapse rehearsal shot in your mini interview with Lisa Tingle. But I'm still a little torn about the very idea of showing the behind-the-scenes stuff in our endeavors to make great music. As some famous musician friends of mine said, and both drilled me, don't spoil the mystery. What we do and how we do it is a wonderful mystery to almost everyone out there, and I for one would like to keep it that way. If you put too much out there, it could begin to cheapen the whole experience for our fans, new listeners, and us as well. Sort of along the lines of this whole huge movement with garage band technology advances, where any teenager with a minimum of computer skills can now make his own music recordings and videos, which is why there are now billions of bullshit YouTube videos of many cover versions of great songs, many awful bands. This is all tied in with the whole Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, Who Wants to Be the next big hit singer TV shows, all the way down to Keeping It Up with the Kardashians. The most disgusting bullshit reality TV to come out of Hollywood. There used to be only a few hundred great bands out there when I started. Now there are thousands. Add to that hundreds of thousands of wannabes who think they can do what we do after our decades of experience. They want to have it all now without putting in the work. Personally, I don't want them to see how we do it, nor do I want our fans to ever see us arguing, looking exhausted, tired, bitchy, or not being the great players backstage or in rehearsal or any time. They should just come to the show, not get too much, not get told too much, not get preached at or get begged for anything, just simply entertained, if not blown away. Lifted by a sublime experience. That's what I want. These behind-the-scenes things are not sublime, they are just daily drivel. I can only imagine some fan coming to realize, oh, they're not so special after all. But then it's your show. I'll just do my job and shut up and brush my hair. But I don't want to have to start dressing up for rehearsals too, you know. I respect you and your shameless promotion and tenacity. I'm just more old school, I guess. I love the bands I grew up with. Miles Davis wouldn't be caught dead with stuff like this being filmed and put out there. Ironically, it was none other than Sting who released the first wholesale DVD of the entire band rehearsal process, from the first meets to concert footage with Bring on the Night a few decades ago.
I'm Maria Schneider. Welcome to our third Artist Share commission project. It's been about 1.5 years since I created Lembranza, and we premiered it at Birdland in New York City. And now I'm really getting excited to create another new work for the band. Recently, I've been very busy and off my usual course as I've been doing classical commissions. One was for Kronos Quartet, and 2 were for the marvelous soprano Dawn Upshaw and Chamber Orchestra.
So there's solenoid instruments, there's pneumatic instruments, and of course, sort of the most sophisticated of these instruments is an instrument that's been around for a while that most people have had contact with in hotel lobbies around the world or weddings or wherever, which is the Yamaha Disclavier, which is certainly the most sophisticated solenoid-based instrument to date that's commercially available. And there are several Disclaviers involved in this project. Yamaha has been incredibly supportive of the project and has provided me with it.
Well, I agree very much with my friend. I think that it's very difficult to have that sort of elitist musician above everybody, secretive, mysterious kind of feel when in this new world of the music business and the entertainment business, if I want to get my message out there, I want to get my music out there, this technology is available for me to do that through videotaping myself, doing interviews, doing live rehearsal shots. I agree with him in terms of keeping the quality up, and that's one thing I'm going to focus on more with these behind the scenes and the footage that I do. But who else is going to cover Will Taylor and Strings Attached? National TV shows aren't going to cover it. Do I just wait around for NPR or any local stations, radio stations and TV stations to come to me? I do send out press releases, I do let them know about what I'm doing, but there is so much competition and so much popular music happening out there that if I wait around, I'll be left in the jumble and I'll be left behind. And I believe to survive and thrive in this environment is to find people like you that connect with our music and to communicate and make this process a little more open so you can see behind the scenes. Maybe it makes it more human, more real for you when you get to see what we do on a day-to-day basis as musicians. So I want to know from you, does it cheapen the experience, me making these videos? Or does it bring you closer to what I do? Does it make you want to come to my shows when you see the work and the daily, maybe not the daily drivel, but the things that goes on behind the scenes to make this art come to life? My hope is that you'll see all this and you'll want to support what we do. So I'll leave it at that. I'd like to hear your comments below. I'd like you to email me, will@willtaylor.com. Especially comments below would be great. And if you have any other questions, put them below and let's get those questions coming. So I addressed what is my meditation practice, and then that's the only question actually that's come so far. So I addressed that, and then I brought up this topic of doing these behind the scenes videos, podcasts, self-promotional techniques, which actually take up a lot of my time, not a whole lot, but I'd obviously rather be making more music and spending all my time, most of my time practicing and going out doing outreach shows and house concerts and bringing music to you. But I think it's valuable to spend just a little bit of time to let you know what's going on. This is a channel that I can do with very, very little investment. I don't have to go to a national media conglomeration and beg to get support and coverage. I can show the music and the art the way I want to show it. So I'm going to end off with a little violin improv, just straight off the cuff, completely no planning, improvised. Something how I might practice. to you now from the iPhone, which is much less quality than the beautiful camera, but I just realized I didn't say enough about the meditation and how it relates to my being a musician. I just gave you the information of what I do and what I like to do. I don't practice meditating enough. There always seems to be something that seems to be more important, but lately it's kind of a good reminder, great to be accountable to you people out there, that I need to get back to the meditating. And what Karen and I have been trying to do is do it the first thing in the morning when we wake up, maybe like some people would with their exercising practice. Maybe one day do exercise, one day do meditation. And I find that if I do it first thing in the morning, even just 15 or 20 minutes, kind of sets the tone for the whole day. Right, Karen?
That's right.
She doesn't want to be on the podcast. I was hoping to get her, but she left. I find that it helps me have more energy for the challenges, for the mental challenges of the day, to have that kind of reset in the morning. It's hard, it's difficult, and it also influences my music. It seems to provide a more calm, focused, mental default mode to start with regard to playing music. And if I can kind of sustain that beautiful calmness throughout the day and into my performances, it makes me more available to the people that I'm serving and loving through the music. So and this life that I live right now, which is a lot of administration, is sort of all over the place. Chicken with head cut off, pardon the bad cliche, but I find the more and more days I go and haven't meditated, the more stressed I get. And so this is a good reminder to get back to it, but it affects the calmness, it affects the focus in my musical performing and practice. Hope that answers your question. I'd say try it out and see how it affects you, and let me know. If there's any more questions about that, put them here.